你好, welcome to Ask Andy. In this video, our topic is to be in Chinese. I'm going to answer 4 questions. Question number 1. How do we say he is Chinese in Mandarin? So, this is, I made it in red because this is the to be here. And question number 2. How do we say China is big in Chinese? I made this is in red too. That's another to be. And question number 3, to be. So we're going to know for to be in Chinese, actually we have 2 common ones you're going to see. One is 是, the other is 很. So what's the difference between them? I'm going to explain that in this video. Question number 4, what is the real very? Because 很 by itself, it means very. But actually, we are going to find a lot for the description in Chinese. When we translate it, it is sort of to be. But what is the real very? So I'm going to answer that question in this video. Let's get started. Question number 1. He is Chinese in Mandarin. How do we say that? So actually, this is easy. So you can have like a dictionary. You can find he. So he in Chinese is 他. And then you can look it up for is. Is 是. And then Chinese, you're going to find that is 中国人. So piece them together. What we get is 他是中国人. Actually, what we really say is he is China person. So you can see just he, 他 is 是 Chinese 中国人. It's so easy, right? So nothing difficult. So you're going to say, okay, it's so easy for us to say to be. Just use is. That's what it is in the dictionary. Is it true? Let's see another example. So what about China is big in Chinese? So how do we say China is big in Chinese? So you say it's easy. I had experience for he is a Chinese. So I just do literal translation. China, 中国, is 是 big, 大. So I make the sentence 中国是大. Is that right? I'm sorry to let you know. It's wrong. You're going to say, what? Is wrong? It worked perfectly for he is Chinese. But why it doesn't work here? And then what's the correct one for China is big? Let's see. So for China is big, the correct way to do it is 中国很大. 中国很大. So you're going to say, what? What is this 很? If you check it in the dictionary, you're going to find this 很 means very. So literally what we say is China very big. And I make this is in brackets. Though we couldn't see it, actually, it is there. So what we really say is China very big. So this is the pattern for you to describe things with an adjective. So when you try to describe something with an adjective, in English what we do is something is an adjective. But in Chinese, what we do, the pattern, the basic pattern would be subject plus 很 plus adjective. So see, that is the pattern for you to describe something with an adjective. And then, okay, we have done question number 1 and question number 2. Right now, I think you have known. So for to be in Chinese, we have 2. One is 是, the other is 很. So when we are talking, actually this 很 is very, but we are going to use it as a link word for to be in Chinese. But you are going to ask, what's the difference between this 是 and 很? And when do I use this 是 or this 很? Let's see. So let's move on with these 2 translations. Let's analyze it. What's the difference between these 2 sentences? Let's see. So 他是中国人. 他是中国人. And then this one. 中国很大. 中国很大. So what's the difference between them? Let's analyze it. I told you about at the beginning. When we describe something, we use this 很 to do the description. And here, when we are talking about he is Chinese, literally in Chinese, that is 他是中国人. So the difference is the end. See, For this sentence, we finish with 人. So in Chinese, that's a person. So that's the thing. So when you finish the sentence with an object, we're going to have that to be as 是. So remember that. And then what about this one? So what we say is 中国很大. 中国很大. So in that case, we have 大. So 大, it is an adjective. So when you have like a description, you're describing something with an adjective. The sentence finishes with an adjective. You just use 很. Actually, the 很 here is not very. It is just a link word between the subject and the adjective. So this is the thing for the form. So we can find if one sentence you finish it by an adjective, you need to use 很. But if you finish the sentence with an object, you're going to use 是 as the to be here. Okay, you're going to say it's not easy for me to tell, or just about adjective or object. It's not that easy. Actually, you can think. The other way is about the meaning. So what's the difference between this one and that one? So, he is Chinese. So this is a definition. So what is the definition? So for the definition, it is about to be or not to be. We don't really have levels like he's Chinese. We don't have very Chinese. We don't have extremely Chinese or really Chinese. So we don't have those levels for this definition. But when you talk about something like a big, so China is big, we have different levels. We can say big, very big, really big, extremely big, right? We have different levels for this big. That's the difference. One is definition. The other is description. Let's see one more example. So, 他是一个好人. 他是一个好人. So we have 人 in the end. So that's an object. In this case, for this is, we are going to use 是. And then what about the other example? 他很好. 他很好. Literally, it is he very good. Actually, it is he is good. This is the basic level. See? Same. So you have 人 in the end, you're going to have the is as 是. But when you finish the sentence with good, you're describing, that will be 很. This is the basic level. And then let's move on with another example. 他是一个帅哥. 他是一个帅哥. Actually, here, the 哥 by itself, it is like big brother. But here it means guy. So that is, he is a handsome guy. So you have the 哥 as the object. Then we are going to have this is as 是. But let's move on. For this one, 他很帅. 他很帅. So in this case, we finish the sentence with handsome. Handsome is an adjective. In that case, we are going to have 很. That will be 他很帅. Again, this 很, we can translate it as very, but actually here it's just a link word. It means he is handsome. Oh, another thing, I make the E in brackets because when we are talking, we can go without the E. So when you're talking about the quantity, just one, you can just say 个. So that will be 他是个帅哥. 他是个帅哥. And then let's move on. So another example, again, 她是一个美女. 她是一个美女. So I make an E in brackets again. So you can just say 她是个美女. 她是个美女. So that is, she is a beautiful girl. So when we finish the sentence with this 女, girl, so that is an object. So we are going to have the is 是 here. And then this one, 她很漂亮. 她很漂亮. So 漂亮 is also beautiful, and it is the modern one. And this 美 is supreme, is sort of, that is like gorgeous, supreme. Usually when we talk about beautiful, we just use 漂亮, 漂亮. So she is beautiful. That will be 她很漂亮. 她很漂亮. In this case, we end the sentence with beautiful. Beautiful is an adjective. So for this is, we use 很. So right now, is it clear? I hope you get the point. So actually it is easy. You just think about when you're doing a description with an adjective, you just use 很. When you define something like is a beautiful girl, you have an object. Then you do it with 是. That's it. Okay, we have done question number 1, question number 2, and 3. Right now we move on to question number 4. Because 很 actually is want to be in Chinese. Not in Chinese when we are doing the translation, right? From English to Chinese. And then, what is the real very? Let's move on. I'm going to answer that question. See, question number 4. What is the real very? And then, for this one, translation again. I am tired. So you can look it up in the dictionary. I is 我, am is, and then tired is 累. What is your translation? How do you say that in Chinese? Remember the point, you finish the sentence with just an adjective. You are doing a description. In this case, what you really need is not 是. That would be 我很累. 我很累. And then what about this sentence? I am very tired. So you want to say the real very. It is not just like a link word between subject and adjective, the basic level. You want to say very. What is that one? That is 我非常累. 我非常累. So in this case, you can see we don't need the 很 anymore. We replace it with a 非常. So actually for subject and adjective in Chinese, we just need a link word. It can be 很, it can be something else. We just need a link word there. And 很 is the basic one. So when we are talking about a higher level, we are talking about real very. That real very, we are going to use this 非常. And then let's move on with another example. So I am hungry. Again, you finish the sentence with an adjective. You have a am, so to be here. What is that to be? That to be would be 很 because it is the basic level. So that is 我很饿. 我很饿. So 饿 is hungry. So for the pronunciation, it is the fourth tone. If you have trouble with the fourth tone, you can check this video. And then, what about this one? I am very hungry. Again, in this case, we still need a link word. That link word, I mentioned that in the previous example. That is 非常. So when you want to say, I am very hungry, that would be 我非常饿. 我非常饿. Okay, for these two examples, they are both negative. Let's do with a positive one. I am happy. I am happy. So what is that? So you can look it up in the dictionary. So I is 我, am is 是, happy is 开心. So place them together. 我是开心? No, that's wrong. So in that case, remember again, you finish the sentence with an adjective. So it would be 我很开心. 我很开心. We use this 很, remember. And then what about the real very? This one. I am very happy. The same. So that would be 我非常开心. 我非常开心. Okay, that's all for today. So let me summarize. So when you're talking about to be in Chinese, there are two cases because the 是 is the same with the one you have in the dictionary. It won't be tricky. So the tricky one is this 很. So remember, when you are doing a description with an adjective, you are going to have the to be as 很. Thank you for watching. 再见.